It's not that long. Hi, Dicky. What's up? Comics are early in order. Okay. Okay. Why gamers are upset with Assassin's Creed Shadows?
What's up, everybody? This is the Samurai Man here, and today, Ubisoft recently announced their newest Assassin's Creed game. Shadows the Hedgehogs. Nothing personnel, kid. Can you believe it? This series is finally going to Japan, a setting fans have been asking to go to.
Damn, that's pretty badass. The theme was badass. They missed a lot of hits though.
For years, and the reaction has been entirely pleasant, unanimous praise. In fact, there is so little controversy to talk about that this is the end of the video. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Samurai Man for more awesome content.
The most disliked trailer.
Why didn't they just use a Japanese man? Why did they do this? Is it to push the agenda?
In the series history.
This hate that he's getting does not make any sense.
Yeah, Ubisoft is definitely rattling the cage with this one. It's not just Assassin's Creed Shadows, though. If you look at Ubisoft's channel, every video they're posting is getting mass dislikes. Twitter has been going off, and the Wikipedia page for the protagonist Yasuke is a fucking war zone right now. There's a lot of heated debate around Assassin's Creed Shadows right now, which is weird because the trailer itself looks pretty damn good visually.
That looks good.
So something else must be going on. Something else is happening. And today, we're going to take a more nuanced approach to honestly answer the question, why are gamers upset with Assassin's Creed Shadows? Is everyone complaining about this game just gearing up for the next clan meeting? Probably not, but I am. See, there's a lot more to it than just a black samurai, you know? People are right to be skeptical of anything Ubisoft puts out these days. And that's reason number one. Ubisoft's reputation is kind of in the gutter. X-Defiant, their supposed COD killer, is also seeing...
Oh, I actually watched a video yesterday where this guy was a massive Ubisoft fan and he absolutely hates them now. Damn. How are they turning so shit?
...of dislikes on their recent trailer.
Almost
Star
2
Wars
years,
Outlaws,
people strong.
Yo, Muro City, thank you for the 23-month, my man.
Deal. Skull and Bones, the first quadruple A game. And your ship has a stamina bar. So the dislikes on the Shadows trailer is not like an isolated incident. People aren't just upset with what they saw in the trailer, they're upset with everything Ubisoft has been doing recently. Like taking down online servers for this old racing game called The Crew. Instead of allowing fans to host their own fan servers and keep playing the game, Ubisoft is instead removing it from people's digital libraries and rendering physical copies unplayable. Yes, they certainly do want us to be comfortable with not owning our games. Oh, and by the way, you need an internet connection to play Shadows. Oh shit, wait, tell them they only need an internet connection to install the game. Crisis averted.
Assassin's Creed Shadow
This is just the tip of the iceberg. The second reason gamers are upset is Ubisoft's pricing model. Pre-order Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Man.
And gamers are upset is Ubisoft's
$69.99, $109.99, $129.99, 17 bucks a month. What is a season pass? An ultimate pack. I'm curious. Is this for like console season pass? Buying early access for a single player game. DLC, of course. Oh, so if you buy the season pass, you get the DLC right away? Season pass is for a single player game. Do you think the game will be released in full? Bro, what? I would be pissed. Dude, you saying that? So the game's not even releasing in full, and there'll be... I mean, there's gonna be a lot of bugs at the launch, right? And they're gonna be fixing it. I hope everything's out and they just add it later on. That's fucked. I wouldn't pay $10 for the trash, let alone 100. They're already pre-planning the DLC before finishing the game itself. Bro.
pricing model. Pre-order Assassin's Creed Shadows coming November 15th. Excuse me, have you pre-ordered yet? Pre-order now. Watch this trailer and don't forget to pre-order. Play 3 days early by pre-ordering any premium edition. What the fuck is Amazon Luna? Max with silicon? What the fuck? Pre-order now to get a bonus quest. Discover the gold and ultimate editions. Discover them. Pre-order. Learn more about how you can fucking pre-order it 100 times. Statue's kind of sick though. Yeah, so for the same reasons people were upset with Outlaws, this pricing model is just not cool. It's not very Bushido of you, Ubisoft. Now, apparently Shadows is like the number one pre-order game in Japan right now. I don't know how true this is, but if so, this is why we can't have nice things. Remember, no pre-orders. There's literally no point to it anymore. And also, like, a season's pass for a single player game. Are we in 2016 right now? What's happening? We're really going back to this? I can't think of any other game that still does a season pass. I just feel like there's something inherently scummy with opening up purchases for a game without showing any actual gameplay. So yeah, both Outlaws and Shadows are monetized in the exact same way, and nobody really likes it. Next reason, people are kind of bored of Ubisoft's game design. The huge open world filled with the same copy and pasted missions and side quests with tons of busy work and tedious grinding. Ubisoft's game and open world design is just too safe and by the books, and they have a bad habit of stretching out their titles to be way longer than they should. So this does kind of tie in with their reputation thing, but the earlier Assassin's Creed games took place in cities that were more condensed, which made a lot of the activities and the story, you know, closer together. A lot of it was still copy and pasted, but you didn't have to run so far to get to the next side objective or whatever. With their more recent titles, Ubisoft has been stretching out the runtime and the size of the open world, and it's not really making the games any better. It's the same reason a lot of people prefer Banjo-Kazooie over Tooie. I myself am a hardcore Tooie stan, but I get it. So fans are likely worried that this game will follow the same generic formula. I hope not. Now, with all this in mind, you can see how there's automatically a bias against whatever Ubisoft releases, because people simply do not have faith in them. They have a long history of anti-consumer practices and absurd monetization. But let's move on to the more controversial angle. Are gamers mad because Yasuke is black?
Black? Did you say black? You called him black?
He is black.
Oh, he said it again!
I mean, yeah, for some people, they're happily taking this opportunity to post racism. I mean, why wouldn't they? If you're a racist, you just got some great content to work with.
We're finally going to Japan. And I still gotta see you niggas.
What? Whoa. The problem with trying to figure out who's trying to make a genuine point and who's just like taking this opportunity to be racist, it's like a guessing game, you know? Assassin's Creed Shadows, George Floyd's skin. Yeah, that's enough talking about that.
Bro, is this Pilav's video?
Hopefully, this is only a small part of why gamers are mad. So there's two protagonists, the first one being Yasuke, who is a historical figure, a black samurai. Allegedly the first black samurai in Japan, the first foreign samurai in fact. And the other is Nawe, a shinobi assassin. Now Yasuke has been
I thought he was just a retained, maybe he got
in a
promoted.
bunch of other media, but I've never seen any of these other shows or games generate even a fraction of the controversy that Shadows has. Why not star a native Japanese?
He said allegedly. Okay. Yeah, I thought he was a retainer.
Man, this is a good question.
That holds the blades, but maybe he got promoted because he did well.
Most Assassin's Creed games star a fictional protagonist native to the setting, with any real historical figures being side characters or villains. And if I'm not mistaken, Shadows is the first game where you both play as a historical figure and it's someone not native to the setting. These 2 points have made some gamers suspicious of Ubisoft's intentions. Are they really choosing Yasuke because it's the best decision creatively and narratively? Personally, I think the idea has a lot of potential, but we'll talk about that later. The point is that some people see this as like a diversity checklist or something along those lines. However, like I said, Nawe is also native to Japan. So there is a native character that you can play as, but unfortunately, she's a woman. And women aren't real people, right, fellas? Yeah, this is something that a lot of the culture warriors online.
I played Lost Ark today. I might play a little bit later, Robert. Oh my god, that is a comic slap for sure right there.
Not highlighting that there is a native protagonist. So I personally don't see it as such a huge issue.
What's up, my Asian diversity check? Guys, you guys need to come by every stream and say hi and drop a sub so you can check that diversity. I will give you a pass personally. I am Asian, of course. If you want your Asian check pass, come over here, drop a prime, of course. Much love. Poggers in the chat. Hit that follow button.
All of the other pricing stuff and everything else that's wrong with Ubisoft is much more important to me as a gamer and not a culture warrior. Now, some folk will say, well, why not just go play Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro or any other of the hundreds of Japanese samurai games that star a Japanese god?
Bro, that's Naruto. That's not samurai, man. Come on, bro.
Japanese samurai games that star a Japanese...
Yo, Red Trunks the 5, get the sub. Yo, you get 5 Asian passes. Holy moly. Anyone else want a pass, of course. Thank you very much. Makes you think of South Park diversity episode. I think people by saying like make it diverse, it makes people split even more. I feel like people weren't really caring about these things, but the agenda is like making us split even more by making us like divide them, make these like these important characters. Like fuck it, dude. Who cares? Like I said about WoW, like when I play WoW, dude, I want to be a strong, I just want to be a muscular, strong man. I don't care what color I am. I don't want to be Asian. I don't care, bro. If they have the option, fuck it. Who cares? I'm in an MMO world.
Japanese god.
Hi, Nikki.
I need my Asian
they have the 14-month
check for the month.
You got it, bro. Thank you. And Karo, thank you for the tier 1 as well. Appreciate it. I care. What ethnicity are you, big dog? I just want to be a strong fox furry, and they have that. Give me my pass. Yo, your pass is granted. When I play WoW, I just want to be smothered by big, strong humans. Greek, I mean, your race is already in there then, man. That's why I'm saying I want boob sliders and ass sliders for my fantasy. Go play Lost Ark, man. Shit, dude.
Well, I think Assassin's Creed fans just want that same thing for their own franchise. For some people, I don't think it's really all that complicated. But then again, Ubisoft games are already too safe, so would it be too safe of a direction to just star a random Japanese guy? I don't know. People see Yasuke as evidence that there's an agenda being pushed, and while that could very well be the case, a lot of the people saying this right now are already saying this about 100 different things. Everything else has to be pushing an agenda when, you know, you're
I feel like if they did it right, people would have liked it. Because when I was growing up, I loved this guy. I don't know if you guys know this show, but Afro Samurai, it goes like dun dun hey. Dude, this intro is a fucking bopper. Anyways, this guy was a badass. He's like, I want the #1 headband. And he was trying to fight it for his father, man. That was good. If they do it naturally and deliver it, it works. But if it feels forced and they're getting historical things wrong, it doesn't. People will get mad. You got to treat it correctly, right?
It is based around that.
If it's like absolute fiction, sure, go for it, man. People will like it.
Whether or not it's woke or pushing an agenda is going to come down to the writing and the storytelling, as it always does. I think there's a really good example in the Battlefield 5 trailer, where it's much more clear that something else was going on. It's actually the perfect counterpoint. Battlefield 5 is set in World War II and you want to have female representation? Lucky for you, there were like 1 million female snipers in the Russian army.
Oh,
but no, have this like weird British lady with a robot claw who keeps dying and coming back and is... So I think Battlefield 5 is more of a relevant example where you can extrapolate some kind of agenda being pushed. But you also have to remember that when Battlefield 1 was announced and people saw the cover art, they also had the same complaint. Why is there a black guy on the cover? Then the game came out and it was a fucking masterpiece and nobody ever talked about that again. Something similar kind of happened with the Fallout show. There was this initial reaction to the trailer where they're like, oh, it's woke. Fallout's been destroyed. Oh, it's terrible. And then the show came out and most people loved it. And most of the complaints people had with the show revolved around... I
watched one episode. I couldn't get into it.
The lore.
I haven't played the game, though.
So I think a lot of the people calling it woke and all that are just jumping to conclusions because that's kind of what their content revolves around. The next reason gamers are upset Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't historically accurate. If you said something along these lines and you genuinely believe this statement, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt right now, and I think you're mistaking historical fiction for historical accuracy. They are not the same thing. Again, going back to Battlefield 1 and 5, historical accuracy is, okay, we've got this game set in World War II. Are we trying to make it feel like World War II? Are we trying to make it feel like World War I? The historical accuracy conversation is usually reserved for games that are like recreating battles that actually happened. Are the dates of certain invasions in World at War correct? Was there actually a battle on Peleliu? That's historical accuracy. Historical fiction is the story inserted into that setting. Like I said, when you're watching a trailer for a World War II game and some cyborg lady shows up, your brain is like, that shouldn't be there. And you feel weird.
Cyborg lady
does not apply to Assassin's Creed at all. In fact, that's like the entire point of the Assassin's Creed stories, is that this is the history you haven't been told. Here's the real truth. And I've always felt Assassin's Creed was cathartic because you get to indulge in a conspiracy theory and see it presented to you. You get to watch it play out in the past and in the present. So Assassin's Creed not being historically accurate is like the fucking foundation of their story. It's like the premise of the entire franchise. So if you're complaining about historical accuracy, still at this point, it's hard to believe you have any experience with this franchise.
Dude, is this Index? Well, actually, Yasuke wasn't a samurai. He was a retainer. Yeah, this is what I understood it as well. Yeah, but Neo was made by Japanese studio. I'm not racist. I just want historical accuracy. Dude, I love his little CD case. We used to have something like this in my house too.
Right, here's another example. JFK getting assassinated. That's a historical event. The way Umbrella Academy handles that historical event is
I was so mad hearing about that when I was a kid.
Taking this thing that happened or existed and creating your own story involved with it. Therefore, Yasuke not being historically accurate as a samurai is completely irrelevant because this is a fictional story in a real setting. It's historical fiction. Now, if we get a new trailer for Shadows and we see like samurais with jetpacks, you know, you guys are going to have a real argument to make. But wait a minute. Samurais with jetpacks? Has it been done before? Oh my god, it has! Another reason gamers are upset with Shadows. Yasuke wasn't a samurai. This is pretty much just arguing semantics because we just established that Assassin's Creed is built on historical fiction, not historical accuracy. So whether or not he was is completely irrelevant. Personally, because his origins and his early life and even his original name are still unknown to us, from a narrative perspective, this opens a lot of doors creatively because you can come up with your own story about his life. Whether it's done well or not, and it's written in a compelling, interesting way, remains to be seen. And that will be the determining factor on whether or not we look back on this game as something that pushed an agenda and fucking sucked because it compromised its writing for that, or a story that was genuinely interesting because it presented this historical figure and wrote a story around them within the setting of Assassin's Creed. Also, the thing about Yasuke, again, because he's very mysterious, is that he could have also worked as a side character or even a villain. When I saw this shot of him in the trailer with the flames, I was like, yo, he would be...
Yeah, he looks like a badass
cool
villain right there.
Just visually, like the one black samurai. But then again, people might criticize Ubisoft and be like, oh, just the one black samurai, you decide to make a villain. So you're gonna have people talking shit no matter what. At the end of the day, what matters most is if the game is good, right?
Yeah,
and if it's
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
You know what would be really funny though is to make an Assassin's Creed game.
If the gameplay is good, everything gets a pass.
In a certain place and nobody is native. Like if they were all Mexican sombrero wearing samurais, that would be awesome. I want to see a game where everyone is just an unapologetic stereotype. So when it comes down to it, there are some valid questions to ask about Ubisoft's intentions, but I think the debate around whether Yasuke was a samurai, whether they're putting in a black samurai to get, you know, better DEI points or whatever, I think that conversation is not as important as how they're monetizing it and what else Ubisoft is doing and all the anti-consumer stuff. Remember, guys, no pre-orders, okay?
I like this guy. This is good. I'll subscribe.
Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. All right, everyone.
Two things that bother me about the game: the price made by Ubisoft. Gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games. Ubisoft needs to get more comfortable with gamers pirating their games. Holy, that's Kaiser right there in his alt account. I'd be excited for this game if it wasn't made by Ubisoft. As a Japanese person, let me tell you this, no matter what race the main character is, it would have been nice if they had some respect for Japan. Judging from the trailer, this game seems to be making fun of Japanese culture. Is that actually a Japanese person? I don't know, dude. I'm more upset with the greedy practices that Ubisoft is trying to pull out. Okay, so it's like a mixture of Ubisoft haters and the cultural things, basically. Alright, alright. You've been there, so yeah, I'm just reacting, so I think it's correct to be there. I'll watch this one next. Yasuke lies exposed. Dude, there's so many versions. No, there's actually 9 videos coming to me, but I don't know if I should watch all of them. You guys want to watch all of them, chat? This is one of the links he sent me. Ubisoft sent special Assassin's Creed statues to streamers in Japan. It did not go too well. Oh no, dude. Wrong press. This is Toyomi clan. Should be Oda's. Wrong crest. Should be the same on both. Dude. They got the crest wrong? Wrong kanji character. Those are the same character, but the one is incorrectly written. Oh, Pepper! Oh, Pepper! Oh, Pepper! Alright, this is the next one he sent me.
Ubisoft has made so many terrible decisions when it's come to Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it seems every single day they are facing more backlash from not only Western gamers, but Japanese ones. And now we're finding out Ubisoft is getting absolutely obliterated after debuting a new collectible featuring Yasuke and Noe, alongside what appears—
I want to ask a question. Did they not hire any, like, Japanese people to help them with this game? They did. I sent a okay. Is in the later video? Sure.
to be a destroyed Tory gate. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there are so many people that have worked on this project. There's gotta be hundreds of developers, of the quote historians that they've hired, the higher ups at the company who are checking over work. So you would think that some of these mistakes wouldn't be happening. And I'm saying mistakes because I'm being extremely generous here, because at this point there's been so many mistakes that it really does truly seem intentional, and now Ubisoft is finding themselves in hot water yet again over Assassin's Creed Shadows, and specifically a collector's collectible that features Yasuke and Noe on what appears to be a one-legged Torii gate. Now, they have two figures here. So what they could have done is they could have done a left side collectible and a right side collectible. One's Yasuke, one's Noe. They connect in, some way, shape, or form, and they make one statue. That wouldn't have been a problem. But instead, they decided to have this imagery that has infuriated Japanese gamers. The official description of the toy states legendary samurai Yasuke. He was not a legendary samurai, he was more of a retainer, so not accurate there. And stealthy shinobi Noe, dual protagonists of Shadows, ready to fulfill their destinies and usher in a new era for Japan. Collectors captures iconic Assassin's Creed scenes in a cute I think that's what that's supposed to say. New 6-inch format, the perfect size to fit in any collection. And of course, there are plenty of people who I'm sure are going to buy this game, who would be interested in this collectible. I personally think after this mistake, Ubisoft should have this pulled, but because they're most likely already made and Ubisoft does not care, they're not going to do that. Now, if you don't understand what the problem with this is and this imagery...
Dude, what did Ubisoft do? People hate Ubisoft. I can tell she hates them.
...is that there is only one legged Tori in Japan, and that of course is the gate that was destroyed in the Nagasaki atomic bombing. There was never any Tori gates that were intentionally designed like this. There has never been imagery like this, of course, before Nagasaki. And now suddenly you've got Yasuke in a way just casually chilling in front of one. Every single, quote, mistake that Ubisoft has made has only made people...
Do you think it's that deep? They wanted to make the character standing there to disrespect Japan, or it's just them being foolish and not knowing, and they thought this looked cool and just added there? I have a feeling they... Actually, maybe not, man. When people design this, they really think about it. Cause I'm working on a plushie too right now, and we really think about that, right? Yeah, maybe they're just stupid and they thought this was really cool to add in. Unless they're like, fuck him, dude, you guys hate my character because it's black. I'm gonna fucking put this shit over here representing Nagasaki. Oh my, dude, there's no... Dude, what if it was that deep?
Intentionally...
What if it was that deep? What if Ubisoft's like, fuck you guys, and we don't give a shit, let them cook?
These gamers, and this really makes it seem like that even more, right? Ubisoft is a company that in the past has spent over $500 million on game budgets. So they've either, of course, hired dollar store historians, which we already know that they've done. There are a few that they worked with who seem to be legitimate, but quite a few of them don't seem to really know what they're talking about. They're over there writing
I'm excited.
Yasuke fan fiction, like Thomas Lockley, but I personally think at this point they are intentionally disrespecting Japan. There's no shot this many...
Oh, she thinks it's intentional.
...mistakes have been made. They are a company that puts so much money towards products, spend years making games, and we're talking about a pile of issues at this point with this, of course, one-legged Tori.
The entire problem with the Ubisoft claim, they hired multiple historians in Japan consultations, and apparently none of them told them about it. I see. I mean, I guess we'll figure out in these many videos you have sent me, right?
Gate, we know that they had the Japanese reenactment group's banner, which was a major situation, seeing as Ubisoft said that they would remove it from the game. They're basically going to patch out that imagery, but they were not removing it from the art collector's books, most likely because those are already printed and they're sitting in a warehouse somewhere and they don't want to, you know, burn all of them and restart and make new ones because that would cost money. But if they truly were committed to historical accuracy and also respecting this reenactment group, they would have reprinted these books, and they didn't. And then, of course, we saw just a few weeks ago, the Assassin's Creed Shadows game was accused of using Zoro's sword from One Piece, and...
No. What? Please.
Probably drops from Amazon as official artwork. You truly and genuinely cannot make this shit up. It's like they think that we are just so stupid, like we are not gonna notice that this is the case. But everybody has noticed that's happened. Never mind historically inaccurate architecture that's in the game, the music that's historically inaccurate because there's like hip hop behind Yasuke's battling. It's just really awful, and they don't seem to care. Of course, the lead producer has doubled down recently on the game's commitment to be, quote, as authentic as possible, but if they were committed to that, none of these situations either would have happened or they would have tried to make these situations better, and instead, they don't seem to care, and now everybody is destroying them. You have Razorfist saying Ubisoft included an artifact from a nuclear detonation in what promises to be the biggest bomb of the year. God is a stand-up comedian. I mean, all of the people that made the decisions at Ubisoft for imagery like this to be put in the game, the certain narratives to be put in the game, they all need to be fired and blacklisted from the industry because these things are not acceptable. Again, if it was just one mistake, I'd be like, okay, it is what it is. We're human beings, but time and time and time again does make it seem intentional. Ubisoft just keeps digging themselves deeper.
After this, I hope they have like a... Is it an intervention? Like a new patch for them, basically. Kind of like Blizzard. The Warcraft team during Shadowland got shat on for all the mistakes they've been doing, including all the harassment stuff, right? And now they're doing much better. They have a new team. They have a new manager. Their new manager's awesome and reaching out. Even like the smallest creators, they're invited to the little Warcraft Discord. It's cool. Blizzard has a good system now, and they're trying to show a lot more than way before. Ubisoft won't exist soon. Oh, you think they're like far down sinking? Is it that bad? Holy. Bobby's gonna take over Ubisoft and save them? I don't know about Bobby.
I mean, my tweet is also here. Ubisoft spent $500 million on game budgets before, so they either hired, you know, dollar store historians or intentionally disrespecting Japan. We have Kitsune
Google Ubisoft
saying
stocks.
Ubisoft used an atomic bomb relic for its marketing campaign. This is what die money buys a company, and it's so true. They thought that this was some cool little figure.
What is this,
that
like
this
penny
was going
stocks
to get
over here?
people interested in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and now it's just led to the wrath of gamers from around the world. I mean, this did, of course, originate from a Japanese account saying, please spread the word. Assassin's Creed Shadows figures from Ubisoft, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company. I've never seen a one-legged Tori other than the one destroyed by the atomic bomb, of course. Again, it's not like these were intentionally, you know, made for imagery before. It was only after Nagasaki that we saw something like this. So I, of course, will be keeping my eye on this game going forward.
Okay.
It's, you know, still 2 months away from release, so that does leave a lot of room for Ubisoft to mess up, for us to see even more blatant disrespect in the future. So I, of course, will be keeping my eye on this. I expect Ubisoft to continue to mess up, and I do think that this is going to be a disastrous launch for them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below if you enjoyed this, and of course,
I'm gonna think they just made this as an idiot. I don't think it's that deep. I hope not. If it is, that's fucked. I hope not, right? All right. This was the next one, boys. Drunk Japanese hyper